Biomorph is a really fun, Souls-like metroidvania with awesome visuals, action-packed gameplay, fluid controls and overall solid and creative game design. As Harlow, you wake up in a strange laboratory, where your friend is trapped in a stasis field. You have no clue how you have ended up there in the first place. And now it's up to you to find out what has happened in the past and see if you are up for the challenge to save your friend. This game is in the beginning pretty linear, but after completing an area called the Athenaeum, you have a lot of freedom to find out which of the 4 main waypoints are accessible and which aren't yet. So if you love exploring at your own pace, you are going to have a really enjoyable time. The Biomorph ability makes for some interesting level design, because when you become one of your enemies, kinda like in a Kirby game, you will get new abilities that are mostly combat based, but some are used for traversal as well. It's also fun to see that most enemies you can use your Biomorph ability on have multiple attacks, and killing and morphing multiple times into the same enemy will make your Biomorph form stronger eventually. But beware of the enemies you have biomorphed into in the past, because they spawn back as stronger and more dangerous versions of themselves. This gimmick adds a nice challenge to this game, but don't forget it's also a Souls-like, so this means that you lose all your currency when you die, and when you die again without retrieving it, it will be lost forever. So these two features add for sure a lot more tension and pressure to the overall gameplay. Your basic abilities and the default combat are really fun as well. There are a lot of possible build options with the chips, your weapons, and mementos, your perks, that you have at your disposal. I found my favorite build early on in this game already, but believe me when I say there are a lot more fun and powerful combinations available. The exploration is amazing. With the clear map design, it's really easy to find all these collectibles and fun optional challenges, but every save point should be a teleporter by default in my opinion. I didn't have enough save kits, like items to upgrade a save point to a teleporter at one point. And this made me waste a lot of time, and only because I didn't explore the map in the right order apparently. The inclusion of these blueprints are a really fun and creative idea, because rebuilding the city was easy and a nice touch. But it also made for a bit of a confusing way of progression, because only by finding these blueprints you are able to unlock better or new upgrades for your character, or as mentioned before, more save kits. But if you don't explore in the right order and you don't find any of these new blueprints, you won't be able to upgrade any of these items or gadgets for a while. And some vendors restock their collection, but I never knew if and when new items were available, so I checked multiple times to see if new items were in stock, which also felt like a small time waste sadly. I also was confused that your reward for beating bosses wasn't always that useful or special. But I have to say, even though their fights can be a bit basic, and the fights that did require some biomorphing were my favorites for sure, their encounters were always memorable and a giant spectacle. There are also a lot of side quests that make for some enjoyable side content. Most of them are just fetch quests or trading sequences. But they were a fun change of pace, and if you love meeting new characters and befriending them, they are definitely worth your while. I also would have loved this game without their inclusion, but I still appreciate them. And if you would like to have even more side content, you have the option to unlock the true ending. And this is only possible if you manage to find a specific ability and don't mind a lot of backtracking and exploring. So in general, Biomorph is in my opinion a really great Metroidvania. And despite the small issues I have with this game, like the problems I came across with the blueprint progression for example, I can say with certainty this is one of my favorite Metroidvanias I have ever played, and definitely my favorite game of the year right now. Exploring this world and biomorphing into all these enemies was so much fun. And to see that many biomorph forms were needed to solve puzzles or to reach new areas was just incredible. This game really lived up to my high expectations, and the 11 to 12 hours it took me to finish it were totally worth my time. I'm convinced it's going to be one of the greats, so do yourself a favor and go play it, because I can't recommend it enough. So be ready to literally become your enemy and unravel the many mysteries this world holds, so you can find out more about your past and save the people you care about.